All right, welcome back, everybody. We got another clip for you guys today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you're having good luck with all your gardening and all your projects. And without further ado, let's get back to mine. All right, so we got all the interior out. This is the next day. All the water has evaporated for the most part. A little bit wet there, but that's fine. Looks like the water in the cab is also evaporated. Sweet. So we won't get wet while we're working on tearing apart the dashboard. I guess that's the next project. I need to get something to place in here to sit on since I took all the seats out. Maybe I'll put the seat back in and use that to set it in here while I monkey around with this stuff. Probably wipe it all down too. Get it a little cleaner. It's a little really dusty. So I'll get after that and then we'll show some progress. Alright, so we got some more progress here. Started removing the dash. I've never removed one of these before, and I'm probably doing this the hardest way possible. I know that when I had the airbags replaced in my Outback, it took about 3 hours. And I'm working on 3 hours, and I'm nowhere near getting this thing off. There's probably like, I don't know, 40, 50 screws and bolts all over the place that take off different panels and things. Here's my pile so far. Now, this stuff's just dirty. None of it's broken. It'll all be reusable. And I might be able to put that in the Outback. We'll see, though. Let's go over to the driver's side. See what we got over here. We got the steering wheel disassembled and removed. And we're just trying to find all the hidden hardware that's holding this beast on. Because, I mean, probably be able to see using the camera here where I can't stick my head. I'll look at this video later and see if I can see any nuts or bolts or anything weird. Found the GPS unit. They did a good job hiding that, but I think I'll get back to it and keep going. So we got some screws here. We're going to take all those out, pull the radio unit out, and see what happens. So we'll come back when we have some more progress. Alright, well, I thought taking the airbag off the steering wheel was hard. That was nothing. Getting the dashboard out of here was the worst pain in the butt. I wound up breaking one of the wires. This freaking wire right here. It goes to the center console clock readout, I believe. Damn it. I was hoping not to break anything. But I think if that's the worst that happens, I think I'm doing alright. I can easily splice that one or those two wires back together. But there's the front of it with no steering wheel, no dash. Most of the vents I took out. And the pieces I took out, I cleaned them off real good so they look nice when I try to install them on the other vehicle, if that's even a thing. So it looks like there's 4 bolts holding, or 3 bolts on each side holding this on. And I see a couple of clips too. I don't know why there would be clips on there. It seems kind of useless. But we'll continue on. See if we can get some more progress done. I don't even know if I have to take all this out or not. It might just be like the dashboard and then leave this in here and just take the computer and the wiring harness out. So I guess we'll work on taking the wiring harness out of here and see what on earth that is. So found this weird hose right here. I thought it was part of a microphone because there's a little grate that goes over it. And it has a plug. And looks like an air temperature sensor or something in there. Strange. Oh, it does have climate control. So maybe that's what that is. It's for the climate control because you set the temperature and then the car goes to that temperature and stays there. So let's work on the wiring harness. And then we'll come back after I got most of that out. Wish me luck. Okay, and we're back again. We got the dash completely tore down. I got the frame out there. I got the million clips undone that were holding the wiring harness in. So now I think I can begin to remove this wiring harness. So it looks like it's just a couple of clips over here, one up here, and then probably a couple more on that side, and then I can get that out of my way. Oh, you know, I knew this was going to be a lot of work, but good grief, man, look at all that. Hopefully I can remember how to put all that stuff back in. Alright, so we'll disconnect the wiring harness and we'll come back when we got that all out. Alright, so we got one of the harnesses removed. One of the mini harnesses. So I got the main one that goes from the driver's side to the passenger side. And I got the steering wheel, the entire steering wheel disconnected and removed. And when I got in here, I found a ribbon that's broken, but I don't know where it came from. It was attached to the bottom of the steering wheel, along with all this. And this. All this stuff was attached to the steering wheel. I'm just wondering where that ribbon came from. It could be important. I don't know where it goes though. Looks like it ends right here. It doesn't actually go to anything. So maybe, oh wait, nope. There it goes over here. It's part of the low jack, it looks like. Yep, somebody cut it. Interesting. Huh. That's connected to the ignition, I think. Well, maybe I ripped it when I pulled it out. I shouldn't say someone cut it. That sounds dumb. There wasn't anybody in here trying to steal my car. Okay, well, I'm going to take a breather. Looks like all I got to do now is get the pedals out and the rest of this wiring harness and then all the computers. Looks like there's a computer inside the door, or in the frame there. There's another one right here. There's another one right there, and there's another one inside the wall there again. Looks like there's another one there, another one here, another one there. Computers everywhere. So we'll work on getting this stuff out a little bit later. I'm going to take a break. There's my parts collection. Getting bigger. So I got the wiring harness up there, got the steering wheel, got the whole dashboard up here. While I had it out, I went and hosed it off. Didn't really clean it that well, but it looks better than it did when it was in the car, all dusty. So we'll come back a little bit later. Alright, we're back again. I had to take a few days off for work, but I'm going to show you guys some of the things that you'll probably run into if you're doing the same thing as me. I could be wrong, but as far as I could tell, almost all of the STI swaps that I've seen were merely just engines or engine parts. Since I'm doing a complete swap, I'm going to share some of the things you're going to have to do. Hopefully you're not afraid to cut and weld. So what we're looking at here is a strut tower from a 2012 Subaru Impreza WRX STI. Right here, you can see the opening, and this is one of the strut tower supports that. You know what? That's not what it's called. Strut brace, I think. Goes across the top of the engine anyway. It stiffens up the chassis. So this is the proper one for this car. So it fits over the holes. I think this is the driver's side. So fit that in there. You can see the holes line up. Okay. So we'll take that over to the driver's side on the 2013 Subaru Outback. And they do not match up. So the ones in the Outback are much smaller. So what I'm going to have to do is cut this sealant off and then remove this piece of steel. It's probably welded on. And then I'll have to do the same thing over here. Remove the sealant and then cut the seams off of this with the plasma cutter and then weld it back onto the Outback so that I can use the strong STI parts. Now, it's not going to be lowered or anything like that. I'm not going for a race car. I just want something a little bit more fun to drive. And what else was there? Oh, this too. The center motor mount on the 2012 Impreza WRX STI has this motor mount here for a manual transmission. And the motor mounts on the side are also in a different location. Let's see if I can find them here. They're down here, right here. So they're down underneath. And then if we go over to the 2013 Outback, it's an automatic. It does not have that bracket right here for the engine mount for the manual transmission. So that's another thing I'll have to cut off the other car and attach to this one. And then the motor mounts on this are different as well, which I don't think will make a difference because there is a engine support that will come off of the STI and will be bolted or welded onto this one, so it'll match that up. The only thing that I found that was the same was probably the brake booster. Everything else is completely different. The radiator is different. The wiring system is completely different. The fuel system is different. The ABS braking system is different, so that will all have to be removed and replaced. All the fuel lines, they're probably all going to have to be replaced too, because those won't support the pressure from this car. So we'll be pulling out the fuel system, not the fuel tank, but just perhaps the fuel lines, the hard lines, the fuel pumps, and probes. And yeah, I think that will be a fun challenge, and I'll have to share that with you guys. It's going to be a long time before I get anywhere near that. And then I'm looking back here at the rear strut tower. This is where the impact occurred, so I'm not sure if I can get into that because it's kind of crushed under here. We'll see the bottom half of the strut, the coilover. That part's still attached to the car. It broke off right there. I can move this, and we might be able to salvage that. It doesn't look like it's too bad. If not, I can probably order one from the dealership and down the road. This one I can get to, no problem. It's not damaged. But we'll do some more progress and we'll come back. Here's the shelf filled with the parts that are still good and intact that I want to reuse. And then here's the pile of stuff that I'm probably not going to use. The rear seats, the seat backs, the spare tire I'm going to keep. Obviously, the driver's side rear wheel is no good whatsoever. This muffler system is garbage as well. And the driver's seat has the airbag blowing out the side of it. I'm probably not going to use that either, but we'll see what happens. We'll come back when we have some more progress done. I need to remove the doors next on the passenger side. So we'll have to take those off and get in there and get the wiring harnesses disconnected. Okay, now we're back. We ran into a small snag. I do not have a socket this big, so I'll have to wait until I have some extra cash to get that sucker off there. It's got to be like a 1.5 inch or something like that. And then I can remove the rest of this. I did get the struts off all the way around, minus the one that was already destroyed. So I got the front, driver's side, and passenger side. Got those both removed. They were attached here. And then what's left of this one, I was able to get it out as well. I'm probably not going to be able to see where it came from right there. So it was just this plate right here that was the only part left of it. See how that thing's bent? And that's a 1/4 inch thick. And then here's the 3 remaining strut coilovers that are still in decent shape. They are pretty old by this point. I think 6 years old. But here's the passenger side rear that I got off and disconnected the lower control arm. It's a Cusco, it's aftermarket. The other one is totally destroyed. But there we go. So we're on hold because I don't have that size socket. I'm imagining it's probably going to be like a $20 thing. And I just don't have that right now. So we're going to be on hold for a bit. So we'll come back when we have some more progress. I'm not sure if I'll do anything else today or not. I was looking at some more lines in here that I believe I can disconnect. There's a coolant line here from this reservoir. And, oh, power steering, my bad. Power steering, not coolant. So that's probably going to pour out all over the place. So I need to get something over here to catch that. And then we can start removing these hard lines. And then the engine's damn near ready to pull out. The wiring harness is nearly disconnected. I can see two clips, and looks like a hydraulic line here. I think this thing has a hydraulic clutch. Did not know that. But anyways, yeah, we'll get these 2 clips off, and then this motor mount here. Still haven't got all of these off yet. There's one nut and bolt there, and I think there's one down underneath here that I just couldn't get to because I don't have a good enough wrench. I need some higher quality open-end wrenches to get that one off. But I did get this one off. It was causing me trouble before. So that's a little progress. Yeah, so we'll get some of that done and we'll come back. Woohoo! Alright, we got some progress. I wound up getting a 32 millimeter socket so I could disconnect this big old axle nut. So this is a 2012 STI and it has a 32 millimeter axle nut. And once I got that off, it was pretty easy to pull the axles out. So I got the front ones out. I'm working on the passenger rear right now. But there's the axles. The CV boots look doggone perfect. I don't see any tears in any of them, so not bad for 100,000 miles of me driving like a jerk. So next we're going to disconnect these control arms and this knuckle. Once we get the knuckle disconnected here, I think this bolt right here, and it should swing down and I'll be able to pull the axle out. The axle on the driver's side rear is long gone, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I got more jack stands too, so now once I get the axles and the wheel assemblies out of the way, I can start pulling off the lower chassis and then start stripping this thing down some more. So we're getting some pretty good progress, a lot better than I would have imagined. We got the brake line disconnected. I just have it sitting there to drip down. I'll probably open the lid to see if that helps get some of the fluid out. So we got the lid open, and the one on this side, I should probably put a cup underneath it to catch that too. So we'll do that, and then we'll probably wrap up this part. This is going to be, I think, part 3. So yeah, not too bad. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, pop those in at the bottom. I know some of you guys that are following along might be doing something similar or just happened to find this video. This is as far as I got for now. So next step will be getting a cherry picker and pulling the engine out. So thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, keep building and try to be good to each other. We're not here for very long.